no throne, no crown can stop Lord Chippy from burning them down. Justice ain't fast, justice ain't clean. It's a long, sharp road through the in-between. So raise your fists and light your flames. Chippy's coming and he don't play games.
Hey guys, it's Mo from Mo in the Deep End, and this is going to be a bit of a heartbreaking story. I recommend all of the cat videos after this, but it is a problem that I am noticing more and more of as I am looking through, to pull stories from you, and I hope it's something that we can get a handle on. Four West African men were charged in a sextortion scam linked to a California teen's self deletion. This is one of maybe a handful of cases that I have seen pop up when I've started doing mornings with Mo, but these cases are becoming more frequent. And I do think that we will need to have a serious sort of talk with our teens, with our loved ones, with any kiddo in our life, that no matter what you do, what happens, what weird videos or pictures come out of you, we still love you and we don't want you to leave this world. But it's absolute just tragic that, there is now a whole cottage industry to extort teens, with embarrassing photos. So, four men from West Africa have been arrested in a sick sextortion scam that caused a Californian teen to take his own life, the Department of Justice has announced. High school senior Ryan Last, 17, took his own life in February 2022, just hours after he'd sent nude photos online to a scammer he had believed was a 20-year-old woman, who then threatened to make the images public if he refused to pay. He didn't realize these people were taking advantage of him. He was terrified of what it would do to us, Last mother's Pauline Smart told the Los Angeles Times. It's just so heartbreaking. Again, I have a child who's getting ready to go into college, and I have sat her down, um, and told her, whatever comes out, if you are a part of this, if anyone has ever asked you for, inappropriate pictures and then is threatening to release them, uh, it will never change the way I look at you. I look at, any of your siblings. If any one of the kids, male or female, came to me with this problem, I hope that I would have the right words to give them, the wisdom to give them, to make them understand that, yes, this is a suck situation, but it's not a situation that has to end with you no longer being here. Now, Last's death sparked massive international investigation into the scheme that targeted thousands of victims, including minors in the United States, Canada, the UK, France, Spain, and Italy, according to federal prosecutors. So this sort of cottage industry of trying to get people to send, nudes or incriminating, embarrassing information of a personal nature to these, fake people. It's a I mean, they don't do it because it's not effective. Most people would do anything to save their standing in society, and especially teens who, your social standing, your place in that world is so completely intrinsic into your personality, who you are. So for this to be such an industry that it's spreading to the United States, Canada, the UK, France, Spain, Italy, I mean, it looks like something that I hope Interpol is definitely focusing on, but I don't know what the hell Interpol does other than makes themselves feel important. I don't know. Now, the last was contacted on Meta by Alfred Cassisi of Côte d'Ivoire, who was posing as a young woman, allegedly sending an explicit photo and then asking one in return. So maybe we do need to sit down with our young people and explain that if you get a rando hot chick or hot dude or hot furry in your DMs, there probably could possibly be a scammo of major proportions. Now, Cassie then immediately demanded $5,000 from the boy, threatening to share, the nude pics with Last's family and friends. So obviously, you think you're talking to a hot chick, you get, a boob pic, a bob pic, if you will, and then you decide to send a pic of your schmeckle, thinking hot chick, definitely seems kosher. And then to be told, just seconds later, "Hey, I will send this to your mother, your priest, your rabbi, your best friend, and every single, mean chick from your high school." Uh, They are targeting teens because this is your world exploding as a teenager. Having your mom realize that you were talking to a girl or a boy, depending on how this plays out, having your friends see, embarrassing pictures. I mean, they're targeting teens because as an adult, we realize, okay, you probably don't have my mom's email, you don't have my dad's email, and they were there when I was born, so they've seen the parts already. Without that knowledge that your parents aren't going to care that they get a nude photo of you, that they're going to be upset that someone is messing with their kid and going to this length. You don't have that wisdom as a teen. So when this comes back, when this threat comes in, this is his entire world, his entire identity, his entire life on the line. And God bless it. I wish he had had the courage to go tell his mom, "Hey, look, I did something dumb and I'm being threatened," because down to a parent or most parents, Imma tell you, I would wrap you in a big old hug and say, "It's all gonna be okay, and let's go get these a-holes." Like, I would turn into Liam Effin Nielsen, like, "Look, I don't have a lot of skills on the computer, but I know people who do." But boop. So Cassie lowered his price to just $150 when the desperate teen said he couldn't afford the $5,000. Stewart said that once her son forwarded the money, the scammers continued to hound him. Before unfortunately taking his own life, Last wrote a note apologizing for what had happened. And it's just so terribly heartbreaking because had he opened up at all, I'm sure his mom would have been there with her. Like, we would suit up. We have our armor on. We're going to go in and protect our babies. And I wish he had found the courage to go to his mom before he took the ultimate, solution for this, or the ultimate choice that can't be taken back. Now, Cassie was arrested on the Ivorian Coast by law enforcement on April 29th. He was found with Sextortion exchange still on his phone, according to the Justice Department. Investigators also identified several money laundering accomplices who had helped Cassie move Last $150 around. One of those alleged money launderers was Amaru Arandago, who was arrested by Ivorian law enforcement on April 25th. Now, two other Ivorians, Moussa Dibi and Umar Sisi, were also a part of the Sextortion network that Cassis had sort of made, and they confessed to their own sextortion crimes. A US-based accomplice, Jonathan Cassis, unrelated to Alfred, was convicted in 2023 in a California state court and sentenced to 18 months in prison. Now, the Côte d'Ivoire does not extradite its own citizens, meaning that the four defendants living in Africa will be prosecuted in their home country under Ivorian cybercrime laws, according to the DOJ. Stewart says she hopes the arrest sends a strong message to scammers targeting, foreign, well, both Americans, but also other westernized styled countries from abroad. "We are feeling grateful that law enforcement officials didn't give up and they continue to work," Stewart said. "Unfortunately, it will never bring Ryan back. It's just one of those double-edged swords," she added. My son is still gone, but I'm still hoping that with this arrest, it brings an awareness and scares the scammers because they feel kind of safe over in a foreign country. They think they can't be touched. So I know this isn't like one of the, major fears that a lot of parents have, but if you get a chance, remind your kids that you're going to love them no matter how much they, do little screw ups. That, being taken in by a con person isn't a sign that you're dumb or stupid or, you deserve this, but that you were a victim and it's not their fault. It's never going to be their fault. This was someone using, the desire for romance, for love, for connection, for, okay, when you're a teen, I'm sure not love and connection, but hanging out with attractive people and to pervert that, to use it for gain, is the person who perverted its fault, not theirs. So, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I know I've had a conversation with my kids about it, that, if something happens, that it's not going to be the end of the world, that I don't want them ever making choices because of shame, and it's just so sad that this, teen didn't feel like he had, you know, that he was going to be loved even though he screwed up. And if we can always make sure to communicate to our kiddos that no matter if you screw up or don't screw up, I'm still going to be there and you're still going to have support. And I'm not knocking on her parenting. Goodness gracious, teen parenting is hard. It's like walking through a minefield. You never know when they're gonna be happy, sad, or just irritated as ever living snot with you. So this is in no way to say that, Ryan's mom didn't provide all of those things. Providing those and reminding your kiddo that they have those when maybe we don't always say the words is, I think, where a lot of times we have these disconnects, not in anything that parents are doing, but that we don't always say the words, and maybe we should make a point. So, I'm just pissed off, and I hope Lord Chippy has his, passport because I think the Ivory Coast may need a little bit of attention, allegedly in Minecraft. Now, I recommend that you go watch a cat video or something to stop you from bawling, because I had to take this twice so I wouldn't cry. Again, it is close to home, but this is information that I think needs to get out there. Hopefully, just to let you know it's a possibility, and maybe if you see anyone in your life dealing with something like this, you'll be able to offer support and encouragement to not let this be the ending in every case. That being said, justice is a journey Lord Chippy awaits, and I will see about getting him a passport because I think he could go international, y'all.